I go hard in the paint, yeah, homie, I'm a saint. Ride or die.
You're saying that God can't interact within his creation.
No, he doesn't interact. I mean, when you see in the Bible, he doesn't interact directly with
Don't
his
just
creation.
assert that. I want an
He
argument
is in
for
the
why.
seventh heaven.
Yeah, that's not.
He is in the sky, in the
Did,
heavens.
did, did
That's
he
where he
create?
resides.
Stop real quick.
That's where his spirit resides.
Stop. Did he create the seventh heaven? Or was the seventh heaven always exist right with God?
No, he created everything, so he created the heavens
So
too.
he's in his creation, right? If he
Um,
created the seventh heaven and he's in the seventh heaven, God can enter his creation, correct?
no, because he
No?
Oh my
stays there. He
God.
doesn't. What I mean is that in the Bible, he doesn't, and in the Quran, he doesn't. Even if he would
Stop,
enter
stop.
it,
Do you know what you
okay,
just
okay,
did?
but you don't let me
No,
finish.
no, no.
Can I just
We
say
want to
my
stay.
thing?
No, no, because we want to stay right
Okay,
here because I want to help you.
okay,
I don't
because I
want to.
just wanted to say a last
I
sentence,
don't just
and
want
I'll
to
let you
pound you.
finish.
Look, no, 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 hang on. I don't just want to pound you. I want to keep you right here. You said that God cannot enter into his creation, period, at all. Then I asked you if the seventh heaven where God resides is a creation of God, and you said yes. So you are telling me that God is both in his creation and can't exist in his creation at the same time, which makes the God you're describing non existent. It's a contradiction. I would just like him to show me the
Yeah.
metaphysical commitment that he has that limits God, that God can create this world, but God can't actually interact with the world or in the world. Like, I often hear Muslims will cite that they'll throw, well, Jesus ate, so Jesus can't be God. That doesn't necessarily follow. You have to like actually build something more than just like a big assertion. And so you have to explain why your God has that limitation that he can create things, but he can't actually interact within his creation.
Again, like God does not interact directly with his creation. He uses his angels
That's
to
an
interact
assertion.
with them
Why? That's an assertion. Why?
because it's written everywhere in the Quran and also in the Bible.
It's not written in the
It's
Bible
not
that
in the
God can't
Bible,
interact.
right?
And
John
show me in the
14.
Quran.
When God interacts in the Bible, it's always with the character which is called the angel of the Lord, and obviously an angel is a messenger, means a messenger in Hebrew, and and it doesn't
Did God speak to
so it
Moses from
doesn't.
a burning bush? Did God speak to Moses from a burning bush?
Yeah, he spoke through an angel
So you believe like
because
an
you have to
angel
understand
was.
angels
Hang on, I'm
are
asking. I just want to understand. Are you saying that like an angel was hiding in the burning bush, pretending to use God's word, and when it says God said to Moses, it's not meaning actual God?
uh no, because it speaks with like when it says God rested on the seventh day. Would you believe in that literally? Like he rested, because that would mean that he is not omnipotent. So you don't have
Resting
to
in
take
that
everything
context,
literally in the
no,
Bible.
no, 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 no. Resting in that context means that he had stopped with his creation. He had created, and he was not creating after that for that particular moment. But that was
He,
also as an example for us. But God, you have to show why God has that limitation. You have to show why God can't rest. What is it about God that makes God a workhorse that God can't, pause and look at roses? What obligates God to always be planning?
exactly, you just proved my point. So not
Do
everything
you
is to
understand
be
my question?
read
Do you understand?
literally. Yeah,
No, no, that's not what I said. You're not getting it. What, from your
because it uses
perspective,
the term to
demonstrates
rest in
How about this?
what,
Before
from your
creation was
perspective,
God
says that?
resting. Wait, before creation was God resting.
before creation. It doesn't, I don't know, it doesn't talk about it in the Bible.
So if he's not creating, right, what else would he be doing?
Okay, well, yeah, but if he rested for one day, then what is the difference between resting and not doing
Well,
anything?
James told you
So
what
one
Because
he
after
difference.
it, he
understood.
didn't do anything either. So
Yeah, James
Yeah, one.
James already explained to you what how he understood the word resting, in the sense of not creating.
No, but rather, see, the Hebrew word for rest in Genesis chapter 2, verse 2 to 3 is Sabbat. And that just basically means cessation from work. So God brought to completion what he did. So the rest is not meant to be taken in a literal sense, but rather analogously to mean that he was finished with what he was doing. That's pretty much it. We don't take it in the literal sense. Because in Psalms chapter 121, verse 1, the Bible says that God does not sleep nor slumber. So God is always active. Psalm chapter 121 verse 1, by the way.
okay, yeah, but
But so
if he
what he
rested,
needs
then
to,
what's the difference if he rested for one day? Because if it's the case, then there's no difference. He stopped on the sixth day, on the seventh day, and until now he didn't do anything.
so what you
So it
need to
doesn't mean,
explain
and
is
it doesn't make sense what you're.
you you need to explain why God can't manifest his presence within his creation. You've asserted that it's a limitation on
He is
God. God's
manifesting his
unable to
presence
do it.
through his angels. That's what you see
You,
everywhere in the
you,
Bible. When God was talking with
are
Job.
you following what I'm saying, please?
Okay.
Try to steelman what I'm saying. Try to take the most charitable steelman of what you think I'm saying, please.
Well, I mean, you might have to repeat it, James, because he was kind of talking when you were talking, so it's possible he didn't even hear you.
Yeah, I'm just trying to challenge him. Like, where is this view that God is limited, that God has to act outside of his creation, that God can't be inside of his creation and participate on it? Like, I can build a house and I can interact within the house. I mean, there's lots of things that I can create that can do it. So why would God have this limitation that God can't interact in the house either?
Because the point is that God and cannot become a creation, right? Creation and God is two different things, because God is infinite and we are
That's not
limited.
an
So
answer to my
we're
question.
not we're not creation is not comparable to God
That's not
in any
that's not
way,
an
shape,
answer
or
to
form.
that's not an
So you
answer to my
can't
question.
associate a
That is
created
not
being to God,
that is not an
So
answer to my
so in
question.
order for God, let me finish.
Stop.
So let me
Stop. I keep telling you that you answered this. It's not an answer to my question. I want an answer to my question. Of course, God is uncreated. No one's arguing that God can become created. You're saying that God can't interact within his creation.
he doesn't interact. I mean, when you see in the Bible, he doesn't interact
Don't,
directly with
don't
his
just
creation.
assert that. I want an
He
argument
is in
for
the
why.
seventh heaven.
Yeah, that's not.
He is in the sky, in the
Did,
heavens.
did, did, did
That's
he
where he
create?
resides.
Stop real quick.
That's where his spirit resides.
Stop. Did he create the seventh heaven? Or was the seventh heaven always exist right with God?
No, he created everything, so he created the heavens
So
too.
he's in his creation, right? If he
Um,
created the seventh heaven and he's in the seventh heaven, God can enter his creation, correct?
no, because he
No?
Oh
stays
my
there. He
god.
doesn't. What I mean is that in the Bible, he doesn't, and in the Quran, he doesn't. Even if he would enter
Stop.
it.
Do you know what you
Okay,
just
okay,
did?
but you don't let me
No,
finish.
no,
Can I just
we
say
want to
my
stay.
thing?
No, no, because we want to stay right
Okay,
here because I want to help you.
okay,
I don't
because I
want to.
just wanted to say a
I, I,
last
I
sentence,
don't just
and
want
I'll
to
let you
pound you.
finish.
Look, no, hang on. I don't just want to pound you. I want to keep you right here. You said that God cannot enter into his creation, period, at all. Then I asked you if the seventh heaven where God resides is a creation of God, and you said yes. So you are telling me that God is both in his creation and can't exist in his creation at the same time, which makes the God you're describing non existent. It's a contradiction. So you either have to rethink your theology and agree with me, the Christian, that God
Okay,
can
so
enter
just read
into
Our
his
Father
creation, but
who art in heaven, hallowed
Yeah,
be
we
thy
don't.
name.
Yeah,
Thy
that's
kingdom
just.
come, thy will be done.
Yeah, that's
Okay, so
just
what does
an.
it mean when Jesus says, Our Father who art in heaven, who is in heaven? What does it mean?
You're,
Yeah, that
I'm
What
going to
what
give
does it
you.
Can
wait? What did Jesus mean
God
when he
I'm
enter
give,
says,
into
"My
heaven?
Father who is in heaven"? Okay,
I'm
he
going to
doesn't
give
No,
say
him
who
one
is on
more
no.
earth. He
chance.
says who is in heaven. Okay.
Okay, I just paused you for a second. I'm going to give you one more chance to address the contradiction, or I'm going to take that as a fact you can answer the contradiction, and then someone else can talk to you.
I don't see it as a contradiction. What are you saying? Like, I don't. You're saying like stuff that
Is
doesn't make
heaven
any
a
sense.
creation or is heaven a creation or not?
Heaven is a creation, yeah.
Can does God enter in heaven?
Um, God enter. He was always there, like since he created it.
you can't say he was always there when heaven is something that he created. That means that prior to it being created, it did
Okay,
not exist.
okay, but let's say he comes, uh, like in on Earth. Okay. Um, like what does it change with Jesus? Like let's say his spirit comes on Earth. What like I mean, it doesn't have a. It's not comparable to saying as to say that Jesus is God. It has no linked.
No, the
It's
main
not
the main
no link between.
yeah, the main difference within the Christian paradigm, we believe that by the means in which God entered creation was through the process of the incarnation, right? So he entered creation with the human flesh that he assumed, right? But
Yeah, but
within
human
your hold on,
flesh
hey,
is
hey,
not comparable
hold
to a
on, hey,
spirit. Like he
hold on,
can't
hey,
become
bro, bro,
something
bro, bro,
created. That
bro,
you
bro, bro.
understand? That's the
Wait,
that's
wait,
the
wait, wait,
difference.
wait. Yo. When you speak, we're all listening and we're quiet. So just do the same.
Okay.
Yeah. So as I was saying, within the Islamic paradigm, you believe that Allah is in the heavens, even though the heavens is something that He created. Therefore, it would logically follow that Allah is in creation, right? So my question to you is Allah in creation or not? Is it? He's in the heavens.
I mean, me personally, I don't. I know there's some Muslims I think who believe he can come in his creation. I know there's some theologians who would say that. Um, in Islam, Christianity, and Islam, you'll find different answers on this topic. But in my opinion, no. But even let's say even if his spirits comes in our world, um, does it mean that it doesn't mean he stops being a spirit, which he always has been?
No one said that he stops being God, sir. All we're saying is that you're clearly telling us that God is in the seventh heaven. God has a presence, and that the seventh heaven is created. But then you're here arguing against us, saying that there's no way that God can actually enter into his creation, which puts you in a direct logical contradiction.
Um, okay, let's say he's in the creation. Okay, what in how like what is it's not the same as if he would become a human, because a human is created and he's not. You understand what I'm saying? So
That
even if
that's
he's
that's
there as a
completely
spirit,
that's
um,
completely separate. Look, that's a separate conversation about the
okay.
incarnation. We need you to concede now that
But I
your
told you
God
in Islam, people there's
can
some
enter
people who
creation.
believes that he's there.
I'm not. I don't really. I'm not. Don't really care what other Muslims believe at this particular moment. I
Okay.
care what you said, and you said God cannot enter His creation. But then you tell us that God is actually active right now inside of His creation.
No, I don't say I believe
That's what
personally.
you
I
want.
don't believe in it, but I know some people who would. But
You just
based
said that
on what I
God was in
can
the
read,
seventh heaven. Is God
yeah,
not in the seventh heaven?
yeah, I think he only resides there. He doesn't reside. He
Yeah.
doesn't
Yeah,
resides in
L,
on
it's
Earth
very
or in
simple.
hell.
yeah,
Is
that would
God in
Very
be
hell? Like my question, would God be in hell since he's everywhere?
yeah, but that's a
He's
different
not.
question. But let's look at what you said. Okay, heaven is a creation. God is in heaven. God is in creation. Do you see this the syllogism here? Very simple.
No, I'm just stating facts that yes, there are theologians who would believe that, but
No. We're
and
talking about what you
personally,
said
me, I
out of
don't.
your
So,
mouth today. Everything that we're talking about is not what some other people think, but what you think. and what you said.
Claim they like riding, but I know that they ain't. Ride or die. I go hard in the paint, yeah, homie, I'm a saint. Ride or